East Texas, and welcome to Jack Talk. I'm Erica Basil-Duet, and we have an amazing show lined up for you all today. First on our show, we're speaking with members from the SFA nursing and ROTC programs about a zombie apocalypse that is sure to infect all involved. A new child abuse advocacy center has opened in Nacogdoches, and two directors are here to tell us about their one-of-a-kind program. And finally, we're learning about an event for anyone looking to get fit and have some Halloween fun all at the same time. You don't want to miss it. The Stephen F. Austin State University nursing and ROTC programs have taken an interesting approach to hands-on learning with their upcoming zombie triage simulation. We were able to speak with a few of the nursing students who will be participating this day for the zombie chaos. Let's hear what they had to say.
Disaster sim, there's going to be patients of various levels of injury. We're going to have some penetrating wounds, people with things sticking out. We'll have patients who are already deceased. We're going to have patients without arms, various, like I said, various levels of injury, burn patients, and we're going to be prioritizing their care. We're going to be learning triage, which is the prioritization of care, figuring out which patients need to be seen immediately, which patients are stable and can, you can put off some of the elements of their care. We're going to have the zombie element thrown into, which is relating to infectious disease control. There's going to be elements of quarantine, where we're going to have to learn how to isolate certain patients based on assessment data.
We have two groups that are going to be split up. We're going to have the first group, they're going to be the nurses, and the second group that's going later to be the nurses is going to be patients. And so for me, I'm in the first group, so I'm going to be a nurse first. So I'm going to be helping with triaging, getting people out of the field, helping with their care, trying not to get infected by a zombie, so hopefully ROTC does their job. And then the second time later in the day, I'm going to be a zombie or a patient, and I'm going to be trying to either infect the nurses, or I'm going to be maybe have something stuck in my stomach or something like that. But that's pretty much my role. I'm going to either be a nurse, and then I'm going to be a patient or a zombie.
I was kind of surprised to hear that we were going to be doing something with zombies. You think that zombies are, it's kind of a fake thing, kind of something in movies, but the more that we talked about it and we saw that it has a lot to do with infectious disease and actually something that isn't so far off from being something that's actually kind of plausible as far as disease control goes.
I'm really, really excited just to have a great time, but also it's a learning experience that's going to be really, really fun.
Here with us now is Assistant Professor from the SFA School of Nursing, Dr. Della Connor, and Head Recruiting Operation Advisor of the ROTC program, Kyle Locke. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. This event seems so cool, and we just got to see from a couple of the SFA nursing students how excited they are, and they gave us a general overview of what's going to be happening on that day. But Dr. Connor, can you go into a little bit more detail about exactly what we can expect to see?
Oh, sure. We started doing this, I believe it was last year for the first time we paired with the ROTC, and this is actually for them a great learning experience because they really need to know what to do for disaster preparedness as nurses. So this kind of puts a little fun twist on it and gives them something exciting to look forward to all semester. So what they'll do is actually the ROTC is protecting us from the zombies who will be coming out of the woods that you just showed on that clip. And then our nurses will be triaging the victims who are not yet infected, but trying not to get infected themselves or let their victims be infected. So.
Absolutely. And Kyle, you work hand in hand with all of the ROTC students. And how do you see that a program like this really benefits their learning environment?
Well, ROTC is all about leadership. All of our classes revolve around that. So the cadets being involved in this give them a chance to really shine as far as how they coordinate events. It's a little unorthodox with the zombies for us, obviously. We have a lot of fun with it. The cadets get to really step up, take charge of a group, and show kind of what they're made of. And that's the whole purpose behind their time here at ROTC. They're about to step out into the real Army and lead real men and women, so this is just a fun way for them to really kind of flex their leadership muscles, so to speak.
Fantastic. And with this whole volunteer program, we're going to have anyone in the community is available to be a volunteer for the zombies. So when ROTC is defending the nursing building and everyone who has not been infected, what tools are they going to be using during this simulation?
Probably anything they can get. It's been a little chaotic, and sometimes when everyone gets caught up in the whole zombie craze, and it's a lot of fun. The guys and girls in our department really get a lot out of it. They're going to be using their brains, hopefully, most of the time, in a way that's going to showcase kind of what we teach them. That's our goal.
And Dr. Connor, one of the students mentioned that a triage is a type of learning in a step that you have to prioritize your patients that need to be cared for. So can you explain a little bit more about that for us?
Sure. They're actually going to be doing 2 separate triages that day. The first triage will occur out in the open area, and they will be heading out, with the ROTC backing them up to pick up the victims and bring them back to a main triage area where we'll have a tent set up. And then we'll have a different set of nurses there who will be taking the tags that they've tagged them with, looking at them, reassessing them again, and making sure that they will go to the appropriate areas to have surgery or to be seen right away, or whether we can't save them at all, which is a hard decision to make, but they have to be taught how to do this, or whether they've deceased at this point. So.
Well, we are really looking forward to this. We can get in contact with you guys about volunteer opportunities. How?
Yes, they make the School of Nursing. If you just want to call out there and leave your name, they would be happy. And email address, we would love. The more zombies we have, the more fun it is. Otherwise, the zombies just kind of die and come to life again and die and come to life again.
Well, we thank you so much for joining us. For more information about how you can sign up as a zombie volunteer, call the School of Nursing at 936-468-7700. Coming up next, we have 2 directors from the Herald's House of Lufkin, Nacogdoches, speaking with us about their program that provides a voice and safe haven for those who have been abused. Stay with us. Welcome back to Jack Talk. Joining us now is Herald's House of Lufkin and Nacogdoches, Executive Director Deanna Wallace, and forensic interviewer Annie Myers. Thank you so much for joining us, ladies. I'm super excited to talk to you guys because I know you have such a unique program in regards to child abuse and how they can have a voice in a future. And so, Deanna, can you tell us a little bit about what Herald's House does for our community?
Sure. We're a children's advocacy center. So what we do is we work with physically and sexually abused children through a trauma-focused, team-centered approach. We work very closely with law enforcement, CPS, medical professionals, all to make sure that children get the care they need from the first outcry of abuse all the way through the counseling and healing process.
And this place, even though it's named Herald's House, it is not an actual house, but it is a center. And inside, it does look everything like a home for a child. So can you describe what that environment is like for them?
Yes, from the minute they come to us, we want them to feel comfortable, feel at home, feel like they can talk to us, and open up about what's happened to them. So everything in our center is geared for children. We have very child-friendly waiting areas. We have murals on the walls. All of our staff has been through some sort of child development or, you know, is trained to work with children. So the kids are always at home there.
Now, and Annie, you are a forensic interviewer. So this is a very special technique. Can you tell us a little bit about what your job entails?
Yes, as an interviewer, I'm the one who speaks with the children. It's a very one-on-one approach. It's just me and a child in a room by ourselves. It is closed circuit, so there is officers and CPS and prosecution sitting and watching what's happening in the room at all times. It's all open-ended questions I ask them. It's non-leading, and it's just their way to tell their story of what's happened to them.
Fantastic. And you are actually an SFA alumni.
Yes.
So you interned with the Herald's House. Tell us about your journey from kind of start to finish.
Yes, so my major was child development, and when I found out I had to do an internship, I had no idea what to choose, so I went and talked to the supervising professor, and I was like, what should I do? And she told me about Herald's House, and I was like, that sounds amazing. So I went meet with Herald's House, and I loved it, and I got an internship position there, and it came out to be a full-time position. So I'm very excited and very blessed to be working with Herald's House.
Well, we love to hear stories like that, especially from our SFA
Yes.
alumni. But Deanna, you guys have one of the most amazing boards that I have seen from a nonprofit organization. If you go on your website, you have such a dynamic group of people. Tell us a little bit about what that's like to have such a booked board.
Well, our board it is, you're right, it's so interesting. There's 21 members, which is really large as far as boards go. But we want to make sure that we have what can help meet our needs as both a child advocacy center and as a nonprofit agency. So we always have partner agency representation on the board. We have representatives from CPS, from law enforcement, from a prosecuting attorney's office, whether it be the district attorney or county attorney. And then we branch out and we go to our community volunteers. We get other medical professionals who may be interested. We have car salesmen. They are fantastic fundraisers. We have people who are just interested in the mission and willing to devote their time and resources to seeing us succeed.
And that's really, really important. You guys are one of over 70 Herald's House in Texas. So is that correct?
Well, we're one of 70 children's advocacy centers. They all have their own name. Ours is named Herald's House after Lieutenant Harold Cottle from the Lufkin Police Department, who was instrumental in getting it started.
Thank you for that correction. Okay, great. But what sets y'all apart is that you are just in Nacogdoches and Lufkin. This is the only center in our East Texas area. So what can you say about that?
Well, we serve Angelina, Nacogdoches, and Sabine counties. So we have a huge area to cover, and for those areas we cover all the sexual assault medical exams within our on-site full-time sexual assault nurse examiner. We do all the forensic interviews, and we make sure all the kids get counseling. But it's a large demographic, but we are thrilled to finally have a center here in Nacogdoches.
And something I do want to touch on is that SANE program that you offer. We at a university have tons of women who need to know about this service that you have, in that they can go overnight to Herald's House if they have been sexually abused. So tell us a little bit more about those opportunities.
Yes, so if it is after hours and they've been assaulted, the first thing they need to do is file a police report. The police will then call it in to the crisis hotline, and the crisis hotline calls us and arranges for that exam. And we are available 24/7, 365. We are around the clock.
All right. Now, as far as getting involved, a lot of students want to know about volunteer opportunities. So what are some of those things that they can do?
Well, Annie is actually our volunteer coordinator, so
there's plenty of things to do as it comes to internships. We love student interns. They bring so many neat ideas, so that's a great opportunity. And we have lots of little things, like if somebody needs volunteer hours, they can come and help organize. Or we have a family greeter program where someone can come and sit with the families. And there's just lots of different opportunities to fit every volunteer's need.
And you guys need donations as well. So if someone can't give their time, what are some of the things that they can donate to Harold's House?
Yes, we are always in need of DVDs for the recordings. We're in need of new toys, stuffed animals. Every child that leaves Harold's House gets to take home a stuffed animal to feel good about that's theirs. So stuffed animals are a big one, and then just everyday office supplies.
Fantastic. And you guys have a fundraiser coming up. It's not soon, but it's in December. So can you give us a brief overview on that?
Those in Nacogdoches, if they're familiar with our Badges, Bags, and Bingo that we host here in the summertime, we have the exact same thing. We call it Designer Purse Bingo in Lufkin in December. And of course, everyone is welcome. We always have people crossing towns for that event. So it's a fantastic fundraiser. We play 15 games of bingo. We give away 2 designer purses with every game. We have a Louis Vuitton that's raffled off. Fantastic turnout, food, band playing. It's just a fun night all around.
Well, we thank you so much for joining us today. For more information about how you can participate with Harold's House, visit www.angelinaallianceforchildren.org. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to learn about a Halloween event that is sure to get you moving and grooving. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Jack Talk. Our last guest on our show is from the SFA Campus Recreation Center, Taylor Robinson. Taylor is here to tell us a little bit about the upcoming Halloween Hip Hop Zumba event. Thank you for joining us, Taylor. I'm super excited to talk to you about all that the Recreation Center has to offer throughout the rest of this semester, because I know they've got some really fun events. But I want to introduce the fact that you are a student worker here at SFA. You are a senior, and tell us a little bit about your job description within the Recreation Center.
Really, my job description, I get patrons to come in, and they really want to have an environment of where they're comfortable and they get to work out and have fun. So we really incorporate that in, and we pick out songs that are up to date, and really we just have a really great time working out and sweating and dancing around. So it's a really great experience.
And just having fun.
Yeah,
That's so
definitely.
cool.
Yeah.
So what classes do you teach specifically?
I teach a core and more class, and I also teach a hip hop class.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit more about each of those?
My core and more class, we really target on your core, getting it stronger. We really target more abs. Really, that is the target of my class. We try to pull in a lot of abs just to get your core stronger. And then my hip hop class, really, it's just dancing around. We do a lot of popping and locking. Really, it's nothing really specific. I just add a lot of variation into it, so yeah.
All right, and so are you trained on this and instructed to do one route, or do you have your own playlists and you make up your own workouts? Do you have that kind of freedom?
Yes, I do have that kind of freedom. Every Monday and Wednesday I come in there with new songs, just whatever I want to do. If I want to add some slow jams, whatever, I just pick anything. I am trained, I'm ALPHA certified, so we just come in there. If you want to pick to choose yoga, or you can choose whatever class you want to teach, so it's kind of open.
All right, and you mentioned ALPHA certified. What does that mean exactly?
It's like Group X certification.
Okay.
So in order, you learn all the guidelines in order to teach a class, and what's right from wrong and how to access the patients properly.
And were you able to get that certification through the university?
I was.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
All right, so tell us, you are a student worker, so you're going to school and you're able to do all of this fun fitness stuff and get paid for it.
Yes.
Tell us about your process in applying for this kind of job.
It was I think going into my sophomore year, and I've always loved dancing. I've had a dancing background. So I would go to the university and I would take classes at the rec, and I really enjoyed it. So one day I saw my instructor, and I was like, how do I apply for this job? And she told me the whole process, so I went in and I had my interview and I did great, and they automatically hired me on the spot. So it was a really great experience and I loved it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And how long have you been with the SFA Rec Center?
About 2.5 years I've been teaching.
Fantastic. So
Yes.
how many instructors are there within the entire group exercise field?
There is about 30 of us who works at Campus Rec.
So how many classes a week are you expected to instruct?
I teach about 5 classes a week.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Well, we've got this Halloween hip hop combination amazing fest What can we expect to see whenever we get there?
Oh, this is going to be amazing. We had one last year and it was so much fun. And yes, Zumba Fest, it is Zumba, but we also incorporate Halloween and hip hop into it. So last year we had a really great experience, and this year we're hoping to have more of a zombie theme, and we're going to decorate the rooms, and you come dressed up in costumes, and we're going to incorporate hip hop again. So I hope a lot of guys come out because we're going to have a lot of fun.
And where will this be hosted?
This will be at the rec center in the main court gym on court 2.
On court 2. And
Yes.
what is the date, times, all those specifics?
October 28th. It's a Tuesday from 7 to 8:30 p.m.
7 to 8:30. So that's an hour and a half of the
Yes,
hip hop and
it
Zumba.
is,
Do you
it
think
is.
everyone's going to be able to hang?
Oh, yes, absolutely. We get tired and then we cool down and we bring it back up. It's so much fun.
That's
Yes.
so cool. And who do you see usually coming to these classes?
Most of my dancers who love to just dance, and we get a lot of Zumba people because they think it's going to be a big Zumba Fest, but we incorporate hip hop, so when they get there, it's like a totally different experience. So it's amazing.
All right, and who can join? Is it just SFA students, or can the community come as
No,
well?
community as well. Everybody's invited.
Great.
Yes.
All right, and the SFA Recreation Center has just a plethora of opportunities for students outside of just the group exercise classes. So
Definitely.
can you tell me a little bit about what they can do at the rec center as well?
There's also, you can participate in racquetball. Also, we have our weight room and cardio floor, we know that. We also have our intramural sports outside. We have tons of opportunities that you can come in and have a good time, not only with sports, but you can get a good workout in too.
Awesome. And then you personally, you're a student. What are some of the things that you like to do whenever you're there?
When I'm there, I love the weight room. I participate in some classes, but I stay in the weight room. Cardio is not my thing anymore. I love the weight room.
And personal training is also available. Do you do any of those one-on-one consultations?
No, not yet. I will be getting personal training certified pretty soon, so I will be on that.
And will you do that through
The rec, yes,
the
I
rec
will.
center?
I will, indeed.
Fantastic. All right. Well, I do want to kind of go into kind of some of the benefits of Zumba. So
Okay.
what's good about doing Zumba versus me running on the track at the indoor track
Right.
center?
It's not only a workout, but it's more of a friendly environment. You get to dance with your friends and have fun. It's great, high energy, intensity, good workout. Not only is it, dancing that you do around your house, but it's actually choreographed moves and routines that you get to not only do at the rec, but you can also take it home and, dance in your living room if you need to. It's something that is very rememberable, so it's a good experience,
And for someone like me who maybe doesn't have a dance background, these classes kind of seem a little bit intimidating. Maybe I'm not going to be able to keep up, or maybe I'm going to look absolutely crazy doing all of these dance moves. What do you say to people who have that kind of fear?
We get that all the time, but it's like when you're in that environment, nobody cares. We're all out there. You can look goofy, but nobody's judging you out there because we're all having a great time, so it really doesn't matter.
All right, and I want the details one more time about when this Halloween event is going to be, what we can wear, what time to show up, do we need to show up early, things like that.
Okay, it's Tuesday, October 28th from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Wear your best costume that you would wear on October 31st. And we would like you to show up, and we will be giving away towels, and we will be taking breaks. We'll give away candy. So please come out and join us.
Well, Taylor, we thank you so much for joining us today. I hope that everyone comes out for that Halloween event. For more information about SFA campus recreation opportunities, visit www.sfasu.edu/campusrec. Thank you all for tuning into Jack Talk. We look forward to our next show, where we will move our show inside the Stephen F. Austin Baker Patillo Student Center for a special homecoming segment. We hope you have a wonderful rest of your week.